Jada Pinkett Smith is not known for keeping her silence on a topic. Over the years, she's dished about everything from love to affairs to parenting. But does she have a shady side she doesn't want you to know about? Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith may have been married for over 20 years, which is basically forever by Hollywood standards, but that doesn't mean they're rocking a conventional relationship. In fact, Jada in particular admitted to having an affair with August Alsina, but only after the rapper spilled the beans in an interview with Angela Yee.
I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
While Jada denied Alsina's other claims that Will gave them his blessing, she did confess on Red Table Talk with her husband that what Alsina said was true, but downplayed it as an entanglement. Eventually, she was pushed to acknowledge that it was a relationship.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely. I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken.
She even suggested that her intentions with Alsina were pure and that she wanted to help him when he was struggling with addiction. While Jada clarified that her affair happened when her and Will were taking time apart, she accepted that there still was healing to do because of her actions. You could say that Jada Pinkett Smith has put her husband Will Smith in multiple embarrassing situations, which probably hasn't been good for his Hollywood image. While it's bad enough that the Men in Black actor had to publicly discuss his wife's romantic entanglement with another man, what's worse is that it resulted in the sad Will meme. It appears that Will is often tasked with defending their relationship and his own reputation because of questionable things Jada has said about marriage. The Aladdin star did imply that their open marriage was Jada's idea in an interview with GQ, saying, "Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship. So she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up." It's also safe to assume that Jada discussing the downside of their sex life wasn't a good look for Will either. While talking with Gwyneth Paltrow on Red Table Talk, Jada suggested that keeping their spark alive is hard, adding,
"The accountability part really hit for me because I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex."
Right. Fans were quick to point out how that shamed her husband, regardless of her intent. Fans may be surprised to learn that Jada Pinkett Smith once had a problem with drugs and alcohol that could have ended her career back in the 1990s. The Scream 2 actor revealed on Red Table Talk that at one point, she used to drink wine like it was, quote, like Kool-Aid. She also claimed, quote, "I could drink almost anybody under the table." While the mother of two admitted that her heavy drinking began as a teen, it's when she moved to Hollywood that she began engaging in harder drug use as well. Smith, however, only considered herself a weekend party girl, even though she admitted that her substance use probably stemmed from mental health issues. She recalled being in my depression, using ecstasy, drinking a whole lot, and smoking a bunch of weed and trying to just find some peace in my mind. She added that deep down she realized an addiction was around the corner unless she got help. Yet it was an incident on the set of The Nutty Professor that jeopardized her career that served as her wake-up call.
I went to work high and it was a bad batch of ecstasy. Lord have mercy. And I passed out.
Jada Pinkett Smith has had beefs with other celebrities, specifically Bring It On star Gabrielle Union. Smith revealed on Red Table Talk,
"We were great associates that at some point that dissolved, and for 17 years we have not really spoken."
In 2018, Smith decided to end their feud on her show. Whether that was just for ratings or not, Smith confessed,
"Hey, I'm sorry that I didn't even take the time to talk to you. And then I had to just apologize."
Union later dished on the Today Show that she wasn't even sure what led to Smith not liking her, asserting that it was the media and various people around them who fueled the rumor. Jada Pinkett Smith and her husband, Will Smith, were once investigated by the Los Angeles Department of Children and Family Services after a photo of their then 13-year-old daughter Willow Smith in bed with a shirtless then 20-year-old actor Moises Arias surfaced on social media. While a source told Radar that the case was being taken very seriously by the department, Jada herself told reporters there was nothing sexual about that picture or that situation. Jada later described the incident on Red Table Talk by saying, quote, "The kids got to see for the first time why Will and I had been so protective. Yet it wasn't the only time her parenting style was under fire. She faced criticism when her husband admitted to Metro that he and Jada, quote, don't do punishment, explaining that they prefer to give their children as much control over their lives as possible."
I got shamed a lot, you know, for Willow.
Crazy.
But Jaden was like,
yes,
that was hardcore.
You think
She added that it was exacerbated by the Louis Vuitton photo shoot in which Jaden Smith wore a skirt. In terms of Willow, she recalled specifically,
"The first time I got hardcore criticism, when you first cut your hair."
Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith may have been married for over 2 decades, but you could say it's shady that they started dating when the Bad Boys star was still married to his ex-wife, Cherie Zampino. Jada's mother dished on Access.
When Will first called you, I think he was still married or he was just separated or something.
He was just separated, yeah.
And I was like, he's not available to you?
While Jada joked about him being practically divorced, if not officially divorced, she later admitted on Red Table Talk that at the time she, quote, didn't understand divorce. She even told Zampino on the show that because Will was married, she probably should have backed off. With that said, it's no surprise that Jada recalled her past relationship with Zampino as being rough, but took responsibility for it. She explained that she feels sympathy for Zampino, saying, "When I think back to where I was, some of my insensitivities, some of my inconsideration just in regards to you guys unwinding a marriage and me trying to get in there." What made matters worse is despite placing herself in Will's first marriage, Jada admitted she never actually wanted to marry Will herself, and only did so because she got pregnant. She recalled to People, "My mother was like, you have to get married. She's so old school, and Will wanted a family, so I said, all right, maybe it's something I should do." Jada Pinkett Smith has never been shy about her personal life, yet she still shocked some fans by confessing she once had a sex addiction. Smith revealed on Red Table Talk,
When I was young, I definitely think I had a sex addiction of some kind. Yes, that everything could be fixed by sex.
While she admitted that her sort of addictions jumped to different things, she realized she needed to get to the root of her obsessions. She explained,
The behavior that's attached to it. Because if you want to have a lot of sex, that's great, but why are you having all that sex? That's what you gotta look at.
Jada Pinkett Smith may give off a warm and friendly vibe to fans, but the actor does apparently have a not-so-nice side that can come out sometimes. Smith even confessed on Red Table Talk,
I've done some very unloving things to people that I love.
Yep.
Because of my fear and my ego.
She elaborated, saying, "Once my ego kicks in, we in trouble. That Jada baby, she ain't cute. She's a vicious one and she's mean." Outside of being hard on those she loves, Smith has also confessed to being confrontational towards some of her husband's admirers when she felt they crossed the line. She explained on her show, "There was only like 1 or 2 times where I might have gotten a little hostile, where I felt like people stepped over a boundary and they were disrespectful. Now we got an issue." While it's not cool that Smith can be vicious or hostile toward others, it seems like a good sign that she at least acknowledges her questionable behaviors and has made steps to do better. All in all, Smith may have a shady side, but she definitely embraces it and isn't afraid to open up about her mistakes, even if her revelations often do make for juicy headlines. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite celebs are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.